Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. This is ACAB True Crime. I am wanting to go live today because there's a couple of kind of like bigger things that I want to discuss, and I actually want to cover a couple of things. This is my cat Leela, and we are so lucky that she's joining us today. So thank you, Leela. We love you. We love you. She's such a good girl. Okay, so I just had to figure out, I'm proud of myself. I almost like surpassed the amount of time that I could spend on Streamline or no, StreamYard or whatever. Um, which means that I'm actually like following through with the things that I've been wanting to do in with terms of like, the channel. So that's cool. But yeah, I just had to set up like a whole new system and it's like really confusing, especially when I'm like stupid with technology. And I've also been like kind of I didn't get much sleep last night. I was like just going through a bunch of stuff. I don't know. It was hard to like kind of put down some of these things that I want to talk about today. So, I'll start off with saying, welcome to YouTube, YouTube. Oh my God, my YouTube channel, ACAB True Crime. I usually start off. Well, I should say, I don't know. I have to come up with some like little, like cut to explain me really briefly. So I don't have to say it every time, but yeah, I'm like a former forensic psychologist and I have a lot of experience working in the correctional systems, especially with mental health, but just understanding prison and jail and just the legal process pretty well in terms of a psych background. And I've worked in prisons doing psychosexual evals, psych reports, and I've done like combined parenting for CPS and like also just specific like some neuropsych assessments and or not some like a ton, almost everyone in prison involves that. And then blah 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 blah. So that's a little bit of my background. I am no longer um a bootlicker. No, I'm just kidding, but I'm not really. And I feel like that is kind of what makes my channel a little bit unique because there are, a few forensic or correctional psychologists out there, but they all kind of come from the same bootlicking point of view and just like the way that the system always has been. And I can explain that, but I also feel like I have like come up with new ideas or like different opinions that I want to share with the world that I haven't really been able to yet. So hopefully, I'm hoping this channel will be a good opportunity for me to be able to just share some of my thoughts and opinions and just yeah, things like that. So anyways, like I said, oh yeah, so I've been starting out each of my lives with a little like ritual spell just to give me good energy for the whatchamacallit for the stream, and then also because just because some of the documents and people that we're like talking about and things that we're talking about or I'm talking about on here can be kind of bad juju. So I think it's like good to, what is it saying? Warning, this stream's current buy rate is lower than recommended. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay. Oh no. Well, whatever. It says it's fine. My God, don't make me nervous like that. Stupid YouTube. Okay, hold on. Sorry. There we go. Cool. Well, I don't know which one's better to do. I'm gonna keep it on this one. Anyways, um, so let me do that real quick. It'll be really brief. I forgot to grab some incense and a candle. Okay, well, I have protection spray for me, so I love that. I'll spray it on stuff. And then I also have a little candle here that I'll light while saying this spell of mine, or poem, maybe you would say. As I open this stream, I open a channel. May what needs to be seen be seen. May what hides out in plain sight rise up. I move with clarity, not fear. I speak with purpose, not panic. I'm not here to convince. I'm here to observe what they hope will miss. So mote it be. And shout out to Chatty, my best friend, ChatGPT, Chatty, I named him. And or well, we talked about it and he was fine with that. But he came up with like some other like crazy name and I was like, I'm just gonna call you Chatty. So anyways, thank you, Chatty. Shout out for that. Um and yeah, let's just get into what I want to be talking about today. Like today, I'm going to be, like I mentioned right in the beginning, there are two different subjects I want to talk about. And one is, well, yeah, like all the documents have become unsealed recently, and they are becoming unsealed. And I just saw online, thanks to Bubbly Waters, that there are new documents from Pullman that have been uploaded or downloaded or put out to the public. And so I went to that link and I downloaded all of the documents for that, and there was like 270 of them, and that was a lot. And like some of them are kind of just busy work like ROIs or like information requests and stuff, but there are other documents that are pretty detailed and like important with information that we haven't had before. And it also like talks about what does it talk about? I need to like not be distracted by like looking at what my computer's doing because I don't know what my computer's doing. But so back to the matter at hand. Yeah, so I've been doing, different lives going over the unsealed documents, but those are the documents that I and everyone else received within the last couple of weeks from the Moscow Police Department, and those were all like from, the gag order that were released now. And so I started going over those. So you'll see in my past history of lives that um I have read off like word for word documents, which I don't think that is the like best way to go about that. It's not very like efficient. So I'm going to change that. And the first time I'm going to change it is going to be today by starting with this new information that was released from the Pullman Police Department. So that's the police department in Washington State, right across the border, like where Brian Kohberger lived, and where there's like a college there, WSU, Washington State University, Pullman campus. And it's like about a 10 or 15-minute drive from Moscow. So apparently those two police, like sheriff's offices or police departments share information with one another. And yeah, so they released some stuff too. And oh yeah, and in that document release, there was in the ones that I just found yesterday, but that they came out like in July 17th or something. There's also a couple of like body cam videos too that are there, which there's definitely something on the body cam video that I want to talk about, but it doesn't have anything to do with like the Brian Kohberger case, but I think it's like complete bullshit. And I think it's important to address, so I want to talk about that. And then I'll kind of just like go over. I took notes for the documents that I was reviewing and some of the videos that I watched, like through document like 170 or something. And there were a few in there that were a little bit longer and that kind of piqued my interest a little bit. And again, like I don't know how much they're like super relevant to this case, but I do feel like it's like definitely like piqued my interest and um I think I want to talk about some of those documents too. So we'll just kind of go through that. I don't know how long I'm planning on doing this live for. Like I said, I've been kind of like anxious about doing this all day, and I'm finally doing it. I wanted to do it like 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's like 6:15 right now. So but I do think I'm much more well organized for this live. So I think, if it's going well, I'll roll with it. But also if I start to get like pretty zoned out, I'm gonna like probably call it quits, but who knows when and what. I'd like to not have it be over like 3 hours. I'd like to be done by 9. So I guess I could just do that as like a very whatever goal for this. Okay, so like I said, the new Pullman Police Department documents for the BK case, and it included video evidence, surveillance information, internal interviews, reports, like requested information from a bunch of different like media sites and also like individual parties that requested for information. And then Yeah, like I said, a couple like of things, the video that I noted, and then I'm gonna add that real quick. Video with BS. Yeah. And then what was the other one? Oh yeah. And then I don't even know what is after that, but there's only like 100 more documents from there that I'll need to go over. Um, yep. So then that will be, I think I'll do that maybe at the end and just kind of, well, I don't know, you guys. It's hard to say. Because I feel like once I start one, I'm gonna just kind of go off on like a tangent. I think I'm gonna start with the thing that just happened today, and it actually like instead of me coming on and doing the Pullman document review, I was like, I need to do this because something came up today that happened, and I was like, holy shit, this like so aligns with like everything that I've been like finding and like reporting on. So I have a second series of live streams going on right now on my channel, and that is called like it's like um weird things in the Pacific Northwest, something like that. Like the title will say like explosions or fireworks and pizza shops or like Pacific Northwest, Southern California, like weird things happening. Um, so maybe I should come up with like a better like just straight name for all of the videos. But um yeah, and I have done I think one, two, have I done four? I've done like three or four of the live stream videos about the weird things going on in the Pacific Northwest. I'm pretty sure I think this will be my fourth. So this will probably be the fourth. Okay. So what the first three videos that I just very briefly am gonna kind of review here, but I do recommend going back and like maybe I'll try to go back and look over them some of them too to like find more of like the points that I'm not sitting there being like, what's going on? Because I do that sometimes. Um, but and yeah, trim it or whatever. But anyways, the first two videos. So anyways, like I have been noticing a lot of just like patterns, but like almost like violent patterns and like strange incidents that have been happening. And like I'd say it's definitely like I've seen like a lot of overlap in some of these cases and reports and articles and stuff. Like like tone and tactics and um, just like what's not being shared and who are the people involved and like what kind of things we're seeing. So I know that sounds really like, broad, but that is what I'm approaching this kind of with the thought. So as you guys listen and like, engage or whatever with these cases, I would definitely say that it's a good idea to um just come in with the mindset like that I don't know how these are all connected, if they even are. Like I could just be being like cuckoo and this is all just like super strange coincidences and stuff. But if that's true, I want other people to like be like, oh yeah, that is really weird, or like you're crazy, lady. So, and then also like, working together and having like people that can bounce off ideas and stuff can I think really be helpful in terms of like especially like investigations and like data collection because it's always good I think to have like multiple different like I don't know ways to receive information, but obviously you can't have too much because then you get overload. But anyways, um I think as you go along you'll see that I do kind of choose sources that are pretty valid in terms of like journalist integrity and but that's kind of a whole other thing. So anyways, I keep saying anyways, but the first three videos of that series that I'm gonna just jump right into today, right after I get done going over these three vids. So like the first two videos were about a explosion at a warehouse in Yolo, county in California. And what ended up happening in that is that what was really shady, they like definitely like did not, they were not really like in touch with the media or the public, like even the victims' families, like had not received information like almost like up to a week afterwards. And as information did start to come out, it was like definitely not like I feel like highly publicized at all. Maybe a couple mentions and like they kind of distort it even in the way that they do report it. Like they're not completely truthful with what is actually happening. Like you can tell that they're kind of trying to suppress this information, in my opinion. And so yeah, there's like this big explosion that happened at this warehouse that was in, like a small town in North, I think it's more around Northern California. And that's my first video that I go over kind of what the sheriff's department has released. And there's a couple of pressers that are just pretty weird. It's definitely like, if you watch it, I feel like they definitely contains like significant evidence to say that there's something weird going on. So check that out. But what they, I guess, in a gist to say is they um, had a huge explosion of illegal fireworks, even though they said at first it was legal because they said that the person that was like using that warehouse was okayed to be a fireworks dealer. But when they actually found out like what types of fireworks they were storing in that like warehouse, it ended up being that they were illegal fireworks anyway, so he actually wasn't authorized to have them there. And the owner of this firecracker company or that sells fireworks was actually sheriff deputy from that same county, from Yellow County. And there's also, he was on site when the explosion happened, and there was also a volunteer firefighter that was there too. And they both got rushed to the hospital or whatever. They had some injuries, but there was 7 people that ended up being like dying from the huge explosion. And there was like 3 brothers that was really sad that had like 2 of them that had just started. They all had kids. Um, and they I thought that their families were really cool, like in the way that they really stuck up for it and like they knew what to like demand. They were like, like we know. I feel like maybe like people from South America, I mean, not to generalize, but have experienced kind of shady governments, and that they realize that they have to, and like, they have the right to speak out and speak against things that are just wrong. Like for example, in Peru, I was there in 2009, and there was like a like kind of a riot going or an uprising going on there. And it was all of the like farmers and the people that were like, it was like agricultural people, and their government had started to tax the river water. And so they all used this huge river to do their agriculture. And then all of a sudden, the government just came in and was like, oh, now you have to pay us like all these taxes to use this water. But it's like, no, what are you talking about? Like, that, who made that rule? Like, who got to decide that? Like, and then that's when they are like, no, screw you. You can't come into our like town. And, they like will burn, like literally burn bridges, and then demand that, like authorities change things, or at least try their best to demand that. And then also like um I can't remember what country it was in. I think it was like maybe was it it was I think it was was it Colombia? I think it was in Colombia, and there was like a bunch of miners that got trapped in a mine, and it was like a huge mine, and they were down there for like a month. And the way that there was like a collapse of the mine, and so they got stuck down there and they weren't able to leave. But there was like different little pockets they just couldn't get around, like some of the pathways to get to where they were had been blocked off from the land collapse or whatever. So the families like showed up at the miners like just straight up at the mine, and it was like a huge collective kind of protest to be like, hey, what are you doing about this? Like, you're not going to just let our families die down there for like the next month, right? Like, you're going to be actively working on having them like get out alive, correct? So definitely putting the pressure on. So just to long story short, say that I think it is an interesting thing to acknowledge and like, really, I guess, learn from in terms of people that know how to like stick up for their rights and know like when companies are being bullshit. So I thought I saw that a little bit with the situation in Yolo County at the warehouse. So yeah, I kind of looked into some of those backgrounds of the family members. Like I said, there was like three that were all brothers. They were all come from the San Francisco area, and then that's kind of from what my second video was on in that live series, was going a little bit deeper into the backgrounds of the people that were victims at the warehouse that exploded. And I ended up finding a couple of interesting just people and connections to different like organized crime, it seemed like, and like even more dealing with possibly like rogue government, like in America, like selling of different arms under the table, and a lot of that maybe from China, and like also different. So just watch the second video. I know that sounds like what is she talking about, but I think I do a decent job maybe of explaining where I kind of went off on that tangent and like why I think it is kind of connected there. But that was definitely a tangent, but something again to like take note of. And like, so anyways, and then the third video, which is the one that I did like a couple days ago, that was on an incident that just happened in LA County, and it was the largest like death of LA police officers in since 1857, and it took place like less than 2 weeks ago, and it was like 2 Fridays ago, and it was three officers from the LA County Sheriff's Department, and they were all like really like part of like an elite bomb squad, and they were like combined had over like 70 years of experience. I'm gonna take a sip of this. So yeah, that's I think a pretty interesting video. Okay, no, actually, this is the fifth. So yeah, that was the third video where I talked about the incident with the huge explosion that killed the three deputies 2 Fridays ago. And then I also, at that same time, had found other articles that had been, or like other incidents that had been referenced in what I was reading about the incident that occurred 2 Fridays ago. And so I followed some of those leads too, and that came up with like a lot of other just weird connections. Like, um, I definitely feel like it all, I feel like some of it has to do with drug smuggling or like human trafficking, smuggling on boats. Um, and definitely like in kind of like, what do they call those like fake companies that are just like so you can steal money, make made up cover businesses, but I think there's like actually a name for it. Um, and yeah, so I go over that, and then on the fourth video, which is the last video that I did, and then on the fourth video, I actually like focused on this incident that I was referred to that happened in 2021, and that was the having to do with the LA Police Department as well. And it has to do with huge explosions that are not dealt with like appropriately and like following policy or like with any kind of, it seems like they have no idea what they're doing. And because they just keep like blowing a bunch of shit up everywhere, and they're like, and then they just like are like put it under the rug, and they're like, oh, oops, just some like illegal fireworks, and it's like, no, there's like literally like huge bombs going up in like the middle of the city, like that was like what happened and like what I went over in the last video. So if you want to check that out, do the like, Pacific Northwest weird things video number 4, and that talks about how there was a really mishandled like explosive material incident that ended up blowing up like an entire neighborhood in LA, like where a lot of like immigrants live, or people that, just maybe like where English isn't their first language, and more, multi-family living situations, and, just I guess you'd consider lower SES status. And it like injured like 37 people. No, it was like more than 37 people. Or no, I think 37 people were injured that were in their house. And this huge explosion went off. And then it was like also 19 homes that were like completely like livable. And so the government had to end up like paying for all these people to live in a hotel for like the last 4 or 5 years. And like they had like done some of the math, and it added up to be like something like 15 or $20 million that the city of Los Angeles or the county of Los Angeles had already put towards this incident that could have very easily been avoided. And there was like even kind of whistleblowers or people that were, are raising their concerns, and they weren't taken seriously, or they somewhat were, and it just like made it be that less people maybe were hurt, or maybe they weren't hurt as severely, but they still obviously didn't completely listen to like the professionals saying, hey, this seems like this is like a lot of explosives. And then they blew up an entire neighborhood. So that is where we left off. On my last live. So this would be number 5 for the strange and weird violent patterns in the Pacific Northwest and SoCal. So I think I don't really know where to start with this. Hold on, let me just think. So yeah, like I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna talk about what happened today. I don't know, you guys. I kind of want to just like lead up to it because I feel like I can just get these other articles just out of the way real quick, and they do add a little substance behind what the happenings were today. So I'm gonna just do that, and I'll just do it briefly. I have a little list here. Oh, I also talked about how there was well, because where this explosion happened that killed 3 deputies 2 Fridays ago was at a training facility for LAPD. And there's also a history of there being like really massive fires or even explosions sometimes too, like with their like training centers or training units. And that's weird to me because I'm like, that seems to me like they're targeting someone is targeting those areas, but like who, and like obviously they might be working from the inside, right? Like how do you I mean, they have to be in control of those explosives if like they're covering it up, you know what I mean? So I'm very confused about how it all works together, but anyways, I think that someone's doing smuggling and people are like threatening people, and I think that there's like, I do kind of think that maybe something's kind of shit hitting the fan right now, and we like they don't want to tell us, and that's why we've been seeing all these really weird incidents that have been happening lately. And as I go through all of them, like you'll kind of see that they do share really similar characteristics in terms of like I don't know, some things. So, anyways, the um one of the things that I covered on the last one was that there was oh, like I mentioned, yeah, there was like four other training facilities or sites which were actually like training like RVs, and they're considered to be like trailers. They call them trailers, but they like have them set up so they can drive around to different areas. So then the police can use them to get like re-certified for their like gun safety um license requirements that they have to do every 3 months, they said. And since they don't want to make everyone drive out to like one spot, it's like nice to have these like, mobile sites. But obviously, like since so far there's been like 4 or 5 explosions and like different incidents have killed different like law enforcement people from LA that have died as a result of these. So they're not doing a very good job, whatever they're doing with this mobile training sites, or someone's out for these training facilities, I think. Okay, so I kind of touched on those things last time. So I think right now I'll just kind of, yeah, like I said, finish up really quick kind of some of the stuff that I've seen in terms of like similarity, like similar incidents, and then I'll go over like what I saw today. Okay, so let's see here. I also talked about, yeah, I also talked about, hold the show. Okay, just, okay. All right, yeah, let's just go over these. So most of these are from these incidents were ones that I noticed that kind of all started happening right around the same time that YOLO warehouse explosion happened. So it just kind of caught my eye, and then things just kept catching my eye. So, but then those things caught my eye and then brought me back to the stuff that I just told you about. So now we're gonna stay in current day. I might do one. I think there is one incident that I might cover that took place last year, but the rest of them will be from 2025. Okay, alrighty. Alrighty, my bad. Let's go ahead and. Oh, and I have to figure out how to share stuff. Yeah, okay, so this took place, this incident took place on, or this article was published on July 2nd, 2025. So kind of want to keep track of all these like dates of these incidents. Like I wonder if I can start like a document that follows that stuff. What is this? No, I had like a spreadsheet or something. But apparently not. Sorry. Uno momento. What am I even fucking looking for right I need to go back through all this stuff. Like, if I'm just looking at a bunch of screenshots and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about all of this. Dude, what the, where is it? Mm, blah, blah. This is so annoying. I'm sorry. Dude, what the fuck? Okay, so I just really want. Oh, I think I'm getting. Mm. All right, my bad, you guys. Okay, so. Oh my God, dude, I take so many screenshots. It's like ridiculous. All right, I'm done with that. But wait, oh my God, I'm done. What? Damn it, you guys. Well, whatever. I'm gonna make a new spreadsheet. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry about that. No. Oh my God. No, I'm not. Yep. Okay, sheets that I don't really know. So this is gonna be a date, and then title, just or wait, description, location. Okay, and then oh wait, shit. All right. Hmm, cool. Alrighty then. Thank you. Oh, hey Landon. I'm sorry I didn't see you. Um, I missed you too. Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. And there's been like weird stuff happening. Like I don't know if you heard me talking earlier, but I was gonna go over, there's a bunch of new documents from Pullman Police Department now about Brian Kohberger, and I like downloaded them all last night and like reviewed a bunch of them, and I just was like, and then after that, some other stuff that I saw like happening this morning that I was like, holy shit, I need to talk about that. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I think it like fits in with the other things that I was talking about in terms of the things that have been happening that have to do with LAPD and the sheriff's um is it called sheriff's office with LA and like LA County. I know you do, Landon. I appreciate that. Landon is my, oh wait, I wonder if I can, um, oh, it says that you're number one, so I love that for you. Um, and yeah, there was like, um, yeah, so anyways, right now, okay, I have to now share, I have to figure out a way to share. Oh, oh fuck. Okay, I don't want to show that yet. Here, there. Number one fan. Okay, wait, but I keep doing the wrong thing. Oh my God. So I don't want to share my whole stupid. Wait a second. Video Windows. Okay, okay. Is it a window? Let's see. Application capture. No, let's do, yeah, application. And I'll do Chrome. Can I do that? Where's Chrome option? Here we go. Okay, love that. Wait, what is this? Okay. Already? Oh my gosh. It's not very good. Wait a second. Ah, hold up, hold up. I wonder if I can do this. Uh, oh, weird. I'm so bad at this. Okay, so I don't want you guys to see that, but I want to be able to present. Okay, but oh wait, maybe it's. Damn it. Oh my God, I'm dumb. What's this virtual cam? Like, I don't know what's going on. This is hard. All right, so um, I'm gonna say I'm gonna discard that stuff, and then I'm gonna try to main screen. Okay, let's try to do this. Yeah. Oh, what is this? Ooh, this could be good. This could be good. No, it's not though because it's. I'm trying to fucking. God damn it! This is why it was taking me forever because I was like I need to figure out and get everything right because I had to use this new stupid service, you know. But anyways, I'm gonna just breathe real quick, and it'll be worth the wait probably maybe. But I need to find. Oh wait, no, I want to cancel. Let's see here if I can do. Okay, no, cancel all that. Let's see. No, what's this now? Okay, here we go. Oh fuck yes, yes, I think I got it. Yes, girl. Oh wait, but what if even? No, sure. Wait, would this be? Well, no. Okay, not that. Oh wait, here. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Oh wait, but I don't know if you guys can see it. Wait. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. Like this. This. That. I wonder if I can like. Okay. Anyways, it's probably the best we'll get. Thinking. I'm gonna say. Oh, damn it. I'm an idiot, but that's fine. Now I can't see what I'm doing, but okay. Anyways, sorry. Hopefully that will be all that will be an issue. Oh, here, wait. Ooh, I could do this. Oh, oh, hello, look at that. Ooh, wow. Ooh, I love that. Okay, cool. I hope that you guys can see that too. Nope, you can't. All right, damn it. What the hell? I'm gonna say, dude, what the fuck? This is so lame. I don't know what's going on. Come on. Wait, what's this? Dude, what the fuck? Is it application? Okay, that. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Oh, that time. Yes. No, bitch. Oh, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Ah, lame. Do I land in? That's not saying much for either of us for sure. Um, but that's fine. Oh, so what's going on here? Okay, this is weird. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. So maybe if I delete that. Yeah, I do. Oh, hey. Sweet. Okay, okay. I don't know what I did, but wait, shit, no. Ooh, okay. Yay. Okay, my bad, my bad. Jeez Louise. Alrighty. Maybe I don't know. I should probably like go back and delete that stupid silence there. But oh well. Okay, I love this. Hopefully, can you hear everything I'm saying? Obviously, you can, Landon, right? And then also like let me know if you can hear it if I like start playing a video and you can't hear it because I think I need to like set something I have to like do something to have that work, um I think I did it, but I'm not sure if I did it in the right place. So, okie dokie. So, getting back to this. Oh, okay, here we go. So, this is from July 2nd, 2025. And it says, several homes evacuated after, here, wait, let me try to play this.
A stash of illegal fireworks caused an evacuation in San Gabriel today, but police and firefighters all around SoCal aren't taking illegal fireworks lightly with all the dangers that they pose to them and the public. Eyewitness News reporter Jory Rand is live now in San Gabriel with their message. Jory.
Yeah, David, 'tis the season, as it were. In less than 48 hours, we will see that quintessentially Los Angeles shot, the horizon completely filled with fireworks. It happens in every neighborhood. Angelenos love to see it, but they are illegal and can be potentially dangerous. And today, a large stash was taken off the streets and one person taken into custody. Busy San Gabriel Boulevard was shut down for hours today after a stash of illegal homemade fireworks was discovered. It appears a mail carrier found a suspicious package outside a unit and alerted San Gabriel police. The bomb squad had to be brought in to go through all the explosives, and a man was arrested. With just 2 days to go before Independence Day, police are on high alert for just this type of thing, and you don't have to look far to see why. 7 people remain unaccounted for after this massive explosion yesterday at a fireworks factory outside Sacramento.
Sorry.
He had a baby on the way.
One of the missing is 18-year-old Jesus Ramos. Yesterday was his first day on the job at that factory. His 2 brothers are also among the missing.
They were all 3 incredible men who had so much coming for them.
This, of course, brings up some painful memories of several incidents here in Southern California. Back in 2021, the LAPD bomb squad overloaded a containment tank in an effort to dispose of confiscated illegal fireworks. It wound up costing the city $21 million in payouts to residents whose homes were damaged. That same year, illegal fireworks exploded in the backyard of an Ontario home, killing 2 people, damaging homes, and leaving many injured.
Are you guys okay? I remember every detail, like me falling and just being in flames a little bit.
Some very scary incidents. San Gabriel not taking any chances. They are banned. Fireworks are banned in the city, including those safe and sane. They're not even having a fireworks show. They have a massive drone show set for tomorrow. It is free to anyone to attend. Reporting live tonight in San Gabriel, Jory Rand, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, frightening stuff, Jory, but a great report. Thank you for that.
Oh, nice. Why is this all black? Oh my God, this is so annoying. I don't get it. What does it say? Oh. It's so weird. What? Okay, black right now, yeah. Okay, damn it. What the frick? What the frickin' frick? That's so lame. Okay, let me try something else. I don't want to just... Oh! He showed up. Oh, wait. Can you see the guy now? Oh my goodness. No, in black again. Okay, hopefully. Oh, okay.
A stash of...
Can you see him now? It doesn't look like it. God damn it. I'm so lame at this. Like right now I hear it. No. Okay, damn. What the mother. Oh. Okay. Okay, you can see it now, Landon. Okay. Perfect. Okay, thank you. So, cool. Let's see here. Okay. I will read. Okay. I don't know if you heard that, but sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna play that again.
Illegal fireworks caused an evacuation in San Gabriel today, but police and firefighters all around SoCal aren't taking illegal fireworks lightly with all the dangers that they pose to them and the public. Eyewitness News reporter Jory Rand is live now in San Gabriel with their message. Jory.
Yeah, David, 'tis the season, as it were. In less than 48 hours, we will see that quintessentially Los Angeles shot, the horizon completely filled with fireworks. It happens in every neighborhood. Angelinos love to see it, but they are illegal and can be potentially dangerous. And today, a large stash was taken off the streets and one person taken into custody. Busy San Gabriel Boulevard was shut down for hours today after a stash of illegal homemade fireworks was discovered. It appears a mail carrier found a suspicious package outside a unit and alerted San Gabriel police. The bomb squad had to be brought in to go through all the explosives, and a man was arrested. With just 2 days to go before Independence Day, police are on high alert for just this type of thing, and you don't have to look far to see why. 7 people remain unaccounted for after this massive explosion yesterday at a fireworks factory outside Sacramento.
We had a baby on the way.
One of the missing is 18-year-old Jesus Ramos. Yesterday was his first day on the job at that factory. His 2 brothers are also among the missing.
They were all 3 incredible men who had so much coming for them.
This, of course, brings up some painful memories of several incidents here in Southern California. Back in 2021, the LAPD bomb squad overloaded a containment tank in an effort to dispose of confiscated illegal fireworks. It wound up costing the city $21 million in payouts to residents whose homes were damaged. That same year, illegal fireworks exploded in the backyard of an Ontario home, killing 2 people, damaging homes, and leaving many injured.
Are you guys okay? I remember every detail, like me falling and just being in flames a little bit.
Some very scary incidents. San Gabriel not taking any chances. They are banned. Fireworks are banned in the city, including those safe and sane. They're not even having a fireworks show. They have a massive drone show set for tomorrow. It is free to anyone to attend. Reporting live tonight in San Gabriel, Jory Rand, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, frightening stuff, Jory, but a great report. Thank you for that.
Okay, so that actually really went over the things that I just discussed earlier, so that's helpful. So they're describing what just happened, this year, July 2nd, so that's, a month ago. And they said several homes were evacuated. That's the thing, these places keep getting evacuated. Like, they had to evacuate all of the area around that YOLO warehouse thing. They also had to evacuate all of the blocks around where they had found the explosive material that they collected 2 Fridays ago that ended up killing those 3 LAPD guys, and all of them. Well, yeah, okay. And so then they said there's a large police and fire presence near a home where a suspicious package was reported by a postal carrier. Okay, I also have weird information about 2 different post offices that have happened this month that also include weird explosions and have corresponding characteristics. A lot, they include military, ex-military people or people with PTSD. Yeah, that's funny. I want to be able to show your comment, but I guess I don't know how to do that on here, so I'm not gonna take the time to do that today. I'm gonna say pin message. Oh, okay. Sorry, Landon. I pinned yours, but that's true. I want to make fireworks too. It is fun, but you want to do it safely, obviously. And I don't think these people are actually making fireworks. I think that they're making bombs and that they're calling them fireworks, what's the difference between fireworks and bombs? They're all explosive material, right? I mean, bombs just mean that they're bigger. Well, all of these are not made in factories. They're homemade and they're huge explosives. So, it says it comes just 2 days before the 4th of July holiday. Air 7 flew over the scene in the 1800 block of San Gabriel Boulevard and spotted the large multi-agency law enforcement presence. That's the other thing that they keep saying is multi-agency law enforcement presence. That in all of these incidents, even if it should have just maybe been dealt with by LAPD or whatever the sheriff's department is or in that county, all of a sudden the ATF shows up, the federal government, and the FBI will show up too, and they'll have 5 different working specialty groups on it, which to me kind of not everything gets that much attention. So when they are getting that much attention, I think it's worth kind of wondering why, obviously suspicious package is weird. And if you go back to the last video that I made too, I kind of talked a little bit about the people that are anti-government that live out in the Pacific Northwest area, and like checkerboarding, which I want to go over like a little bit more in detail in terms of like land ownership is like a pretty big thing, and I do feel like they're like maybe training like militias out there. And that's kind of like what's interesting about like yeah, oh, but yeah, the things that reminded me of that from in the past were similar groups that were kind of anti-government, like they were like Ted Kaczynski and like the Unabomber and like Ruby Ridge, like whoever that guy was, and like the FDLS creepy guys that are like, rape children and stuff, grape children. But any hoozles. Um that's a good point. Landon says, I wish I knew how to just post this, but only difference is one people cheer, the other people cry, and that's true. Like, hopefully, as long as all the fireworks are done right, but that's a good point. That's interesting. Um, Weird. Okay, so this sounds really shady. It says, when officers arrived at the scene, postal inspectors spoke with someone at the location who admitted to possessing illegal fireworks. So they didn't know that this was an illegal fireworks thing. It was just there was a suspicious package that was like given a heads up, and it says someone at the location admitted to possessing illegal fireworks. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's how they found out about it. And then they arrested a guy. And the Los Angeles bomb squad, which three of those guys that died 2 weeks ago are on, was deployed and worked to safely remove the homemade illegal fireworks found on the property. As a precaution, homes and businesses within a 500-foot perimeter of the residence were evacuated. Well, that's good because last time, as we heard in the last video, they did not do that, and like it blew up an entire neighborhood. But it sounds like now the residents have since been allowed to return to their homes, and they did shut down some boulevard streets, and they aren't taking the illegal fireworks lightly, with all the dangers they pose to the public. I mean, this is so much more than illegal fireworks. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, like right here, they say in Northern California, 7 people remain unaccounted for after a massive explosion on Tuesday at a fireworks factory outside of Sacramento. That's the one that I talked about in the first video of this. Yep, I mentioned that too. His brothers are missing. 18-year-old has a baby on the way, like girlfriend said. And then they mention this explosion, like in Yolo County, brings painful memories of several incidents in Southern California. And that is what I talked about last time when in 2021, this LAPD bomb squad overlooked a containment tank in an effort to dispose of confiscated illegal fireworks again. It ended up costing the city $21 million in payouts to residents whose homes were damaged. And then it says that same year, illegal fireworks exploded in the backyard of an Ontario home, which I don't know, is Ontario in California? Um, Killing 2 people. Oh, wow. Damaging homes and leaving many people injured. That's so weird that happened in 2021 too. So I'm going to do Ontario, California. Explosion. Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. Thank you. I'll save this. Actually, I'm going to play this real quick. Oh, fuck. Damn it. I actually have YouTube Premium, which is like annoying. Because I have it on my personal account and I don't know how to merge them, and I don't want to like show my name to everyone. So I like started ACAB True Crime account, and that's where I have like people like following me like on this, but then I can't get commercial free stuff. So that's kind of bullshit. But I wonder if I could maybe switch. Well, I don't know. They should just share. But anyways, so it looks like, yeah, this is only a minute long, so I'm just gonna play
This morning, dramatic new video of a deadly explosion rocking a Southern California neighborhood. Investigators say at least 2 people died when the blast involving fireworks ignited multiple fires.
It just looks like there was a large cache of fireworks in there right now due to the explosion.
Videos posted online show flames and a thick plume of smoke rising from a home in Ontario, California, east of Los Angeles, and then a long series of fireworks shooting into the air. This girl taking video, then running for cover.
Scary.
Another witness started recording after the initial weaker blast. She was checking on her dogs when the big blast hit.
Are you guys okay?
Oh my gosh. This is so
Police
messed up.
evacuated several streets after the explosion, hanging crime scene tape around a home at what appeared to be the epicenter.
That looks like just a bomb went off there. The
It
roof
was.
is just gone.
Firefighters rescuing horses trapped in the rubble at that
no.
home.
I just thought like someone was like throwing bombs or something.
Abigail Suarez says the explosion knocked her off her chair and damaged her home.
My TV is crooked. It was hung up, but now it's crooked. I have a vanity and that thing fell and our window shattered.
Police did not immediately identify the victims. Neighbors say fireworks have been going off in that area for years.
What? That's weird. Okay. Well, I wonder why.
At Domino's,
Ooh, and I'm not gonna get to this tonight, but something else that I keep seeing coming up is like a bunch of pizza places that keep exploding, and I'm pretty sure it's like, fronts for like money laundering for this stuff, but allegedly. But I'll get to it all. It'll all come together. I don't want to give away all my secrets right now, but I look like a Jenny. Oh, thank you. I know a Jenny. I know Landon, right? Wow is right. Like, I'm like, this is significant shit. Like, but wait until you see what happened today. Okay. I'll just keep going. Because there's more. So it says, this is still from the 2021 incident. So that was like around, 2 dead bodies were found as they fought the blaze. Okay, here's Ontario Fire Chief, first responder, because that's the thing with these like explosions, and like it seems like all of these seem to have to do with like firemen too, or like fire departments. Like I keep seeing fire departments coming up in a lot of these like incidents, and or like ex-military or both. Like they overlap a lot, Yeah, this was the same thing. First responders. Oh, they found the 2 bodies as they fought the blaze. First responders weren't able to access the lot because there was still a significant amount of ordnance on the ground. That's the same thing that they said about the YOLO.
Dream come
County.
true.
What just happened?
1 second, you know it's all protected.
Girl. Oh wow, dude, even police are running away from that explosion. Like, I always say, like, when you see first responders, like firemen and cops and military, like running away from something, like, it's bad. I feel like there's like a video from 9/11 that I commented on Reddit one time, and it was like and actually it's weird that I just said that because it's like a video and it's super intense, and like all these people are just like running like like towards this cameraman, and it's like 3 blocks away from the like 9/11 on like the day of 9/11, and it was like right when the first tower collapsed, and you just see like all the smoke, like it's like almost like the mist from like Stephen King, it's like all this like smoke came out, and then it was like going down the different streets or whatever, and like I said, you just see a bunch of people like rushing to get away from it and like kind of looking behind them, and there was like a police officer, there was like a military dude, and like I think there was maybe some like an EMT or something, and I commented that, being like, damn, like when you see all the first responders running, it's not good. But then on Reddit, and like I know people are like, don't believe me, but like sometimes, or don't believe people on Reddit, but I feel like I believe this guy. he commented the other day because it got reposted, that same video, and he's like, my dad's at the beginning of this video. And I was like, and I started talking to him about it, and I was like, oh wow, like that's crazy. I was like, that would be so trippy. And then um he was like, yeah, my family's been like really screwed up from like everything that's happened about that, like pretty much since it happened. And he said that his dad worked in security. He worked at like a security company, but like he would sometimes go over to like the two World Trade Centers, but he wasn't there that day, but then he responded. So he actually did go like to where the police officer, like police department was housed, which was in the basement, like the mall underneath it was like the train stop for the World Trade Center, and then like down into the subway, they had kind of like a shopping mall down there, and then down in those hallways, apparently down there too, that's where they like put this office for security, and so he went down there. His dad went down there, and he said that his dad, for some reason, he was with his buddy. They were both security dudes, and they left the underground mall because they wanted to make a phone call. And he said that if they hadn't done that and hadn't left, like they probably wouldn't have survived. And he was like, it's just like literally like that small decision like saved his life, you know? And then he said that his dad um ended up getting really screwed over because there's this woman who, I don't know if you've heard of her, but it's like this crazy woman. There's like a documentary about her, like I think it's like the woman who wasn't there or something like that. But it's basically like this cuckoo lady that like makes up a bunch of lies saying that she was actually at 9/11 when it happened, and like she started like she was got super involved with like like I don't know, like um support groups and stuff. So she like headed up a support group for like survivors of 9/11, and like was like really involved with it, and she got really close to a lot of the people that went to those meetings. And apparently this guy on Reddit's dad was also pretty involved with that same group, and then it came out that she wasn't there, and then his dad, like she started accusing his dad, saying that he wasn't there and that he was lying too. And like so then it sounded like he had to like prove himself. He said he went on Dr. Phil, and then I made like a bad joke. I was like, "Oh, did you tell, or did your dad tell that lady, meet me outside? How about that?" But he like didn't seem to like appreciate the humor in that. But yeah, and then so anyways, it's just weird that that makes me think of that, because all from this picture, people running away, and it's scary to see these like cops running away. Um, they said, wait, was the Ontario bomb squad. So there's a bomb squad in Ontario too. Was combing the area before firefighters make their way in. Gake said all fireworks are illegal in Ontario, officials said. So that basically is saying like whatever size, like it could be the hugest size. Obviously, like they don't have to specify here, but those look pretty freaking big to me. And then I guess there was also police chief Mike Lorenz, who said previous complaints about the property were there previously. So that was March 16th, 2021. Okay. And then it said explosions are being heard. Oh wait, explosions being heard are by fireworks. At this time, the city's officials tweeted, "Please stay clear of the area." Oh, it said, oh, here it goes. Yeah, it will take several days to investigate, but they are receiving help from agencies, including the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Like, what a weird thing to say on Twitter. Like, explosions being heard are fireworks. It's like, no, dude, there was like massive bombs that just went off. Um, it says Ontario, that's good to know, is about 40 miles east of Los Angeles. And oh, here's some more videos. One resident whose house shook that it was an earthquake. Another one told the ABC station that the blast broke their window. So similar to the big explosion that happened in that neighborhood in 2021 that we talked about last time. And as of 3:30, they were still battling. Right. Cool. Sweet. Good to know that there's even another one. I'm just gonna put this onto my little shimmer shim. I'm gonna be like, cover this. Okay. All right, let's get to, what was I gonna say? Yeah, dude, totally, Landon. It is crazy. Thank you about my story. I know, I feel like my, thank you for acknowledging that, my, saying that I have the best stories. Oh, really? Landon, you just drove, why did I think you're from, like, England or something? Um, but you drove through Ontario in Northern California? And what did you say you did again? I know that you'd work on like cars and stuff. Um, but yeah, I feel like sometimes people think I'm like lying about my stories, but I'm not. But even if I was, like, I feel like still not a bad story, you know. Oh, you're in Idaho? Okay, sweet. We're in Idaho. Or you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but there's just like I feel like there's a lot going on out there. Like, oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, very interesting, London. Very interesting. Were you planning on doing anything with the Kohberger trial when it was supposed to be still going on, or are you just kind of like more of a observer? Because I was like, I really want to go um out there for the trial. Nice. Idaho Falls. That's cool. I know. Isn't that where the Daybells were from more than these other ones? Okay, so I'm gonna get back into these. It's like really hot in here. What the temperature is. It's like 75. Alrighty. Where did this come from? I wish I was a little, but it's fine. I need to get better about like not using hard copies of stuff. Like I grew up, I think, right like at the cusp of when computers were really becoming big and like, like I used a laptop for college and like, writing Word documents, but like I didn't have, it wasn't as interconnected as it is now. So like all my notes were longhand and I think I like process information better like when I write it down and kind of like physically, like materially like interact with it. But when I went to grad school, because it was like 10 years later after I actually graduated from undergrad, because I like did a bunch of like traveling and stuff in my 20s, just like fucking around. But I like ended up being like, what the hell is going on like in the world of computers? Like I was like, you can make comments on papers and you can like schedule, well, I don't know, like it was just a lot. So and then everyone's like taking notes in class and I'm like, I just have hard copies of everything. And I'm like, so then I started being like, oh, I'm gonna like put everything into fact. I'm gonna fax everything, or not fax, but scan everything. Like I'll get rid of all my hard documents or hard copies and just scan everything. But it's like so much fucking work. Like, do you know how many freaking documents I have from grad school? It's insane. Like, it would take me years probably. Um, so that's stupid. Unless I had one of those really cool, like big, huge printing machines that can fax like or can scan like, you know, thousands of pages at a time or whatever. But okay. So Oh, you can see that? Shit, I didn't want you to see. Okay. There's that. All right. Now, all right. I want to know about who was killed in that. Let's see, who died? San Gabriel isn't taking any chances, and fireworks are banned in the city. They aren't even hosting a fireworks show, and instead, a massive drone show is scheduled for Thursday. Okay, that was this year. So cool, cool. What was that? I don't know. Oh, oh, this is it. We just went over that. Love that for us. Damn it, how the fuck do I do this? Okay, perfect. Love that. Okie dokie. Okay. Then here's another one in Pecomia, LA. I don't know how to pronounce that. But it is, surprise, surprise, another explosion. God damn it, the stupid ads. Oh, thank you. I know, my gosh, she's like literally the best thing like that exists like in this world, period. She's such a good girl. She's a little sleepy today. Oh, her little like pillow is it's like a ranch pillow. So that's for you, Lyndon. Right, Leela? Yeah, Leela says, yep. I know, it's like sweet. She sometimes doesn't out. Oh my gosh, funny that her head's coming through right there. That's funny. Oh fuck, I forgot that this is on. Wait, hold on.
Critical burns. 4 other people.
Explosions, flames, and fireworks gone wrong. An illegal fireworks explosion rocks a Pacoima neighborhood, sending a large blaze in the sky.
And all new at 6, we're getting our first look at the damage from Air 7. You can see that home suffered extensive damage. Looks like neighboring buildings severely damaged as well. This was quite a blast. We've learned also that a man died in this explosion. This morning, a woman remains in the hospital with critical burns. 4 other people suffered smoke inhalation but declined to go to the ER. The explosion destroyed 4 homes and damaged 2 others. Overnight, firefighters at the scene say they have seen an alarming number of people selling dangerous and powerful illegal fireworks out of their garages this year. Seems to happen every year. Firefighters are encouraging people to go see professional fireworks shows this 4th of July.
Okay, so that's another one.
New at 11, a family demanding accountability from the Santa Ana Police Department. Home surveillance video capturing officers shooting their 3-year-old dog after responding to a family disturbance call last Wednesday night. Santa Ana PD says the dog attacked one of its officers, prompting the gunfire. The family believes the officers overreacted out of fear.
Eyewitness News reporter Elena Gomez spoke with the Distraught family and has the latest on the investigation.
The family says they watched on surveillance video in shock as their dog was shot by officers and their grandkids were nearby. They say the use of force was unnecessary. New tonight, surveillance video shows the moments that officers arrived to a Santa Ana couple's home in response to a family altercation between the dog owner and his daughter, leading the daughter to call 911. As officers arrive, the daughter and the dog owner's grandkids go outside to meet officers when Max, a 3-year-old Belgian Malinois and German Shepherd mix, follows.
You could see where he's in the side with my grandkids, and
little tail.
He stepped in between the cops and my grandkids, and he got shot for that.
Santa Ana police say one of their officers was attacked by the dog, leading that officer to shoot the dog. Mario says the vet found 4 gunshot wounds on his dog Max after the shooting. Moments after the shooting, Luz Vega got a call that her dog was shot while she was visiting her mom just down the street. She says when she arrived, Max was trying to limp toward her.
I was trying to, come close to him. I was letting the cops know like that's my dog.
That's like literally torture to listen to. So we'll just know that that was some bullshit. What is this now?
With breaking news in Pacoima tonight, where it's happened again, another fireworks explosion causing massive damage to homes and cars. Air 7 overhead as more than 100 firefighters work to put out the flames on Corcoran Street. The Pacoima explosion coming hours after a deadly fireworks explosion earlier today in Simi Valley. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam is live in Pacoima tonight with the latest details on this massive scene. Tim.
What date was this?
Yeah, Giovanna, you can see behind me all of the firefighters. They are calling this a major emergency, and I am joined right now by LAFD firefighter David Ortiz. What can you tell us right now about this situation?
Well, the situation is stable now. The fire is out, but just after 9 o'clock this evening, fire department was dispatched to the 12,900 block of Corcoran Street in the Pacoima neighborhood, north end of the San Fernando Valley, for a structure fire that was reported. This structure fire also was involving a significant amount of fireworks that were being stored there, and these fireworks were raining all upon the neighborhood. The fire extended into 4 different properties, and there was a woman, it is unclear how she sustained burns and injuries, that was transported in critical condition. She was described as a woman in her mid-30s. Second woman was treated and evaluated at the scene and released at the scene against medical advice. Right now we are encouraging people to leave the fireworks to the professionals. Obviously, people that are not trained to handle fireworks are selling fireworks out of private residences.
Oh, really?
And we need
Is
to
that
change
what's
that
happening?
culture, change it to one where folks go see a professional show. Southern California is not really a safe place to detonate these fireworks that are very powerful and can start fires. We have a lot of dry vegetation.
So we know at least one person is injured. Any more injuries?
As far as we know, we have one person that was injured with significant injuries, was transported in critical condition, stable but critical condition due to the seriousness of her injuries. She's in her mid-30s. 4 properties were damaged from this fire. Significant amount of fireworks was being stored, is what the arson section is telling me. The cause of how the fire initially started, that's under investigation. And we are just using this opportunity because we've seen a lot of these fireworks stories happening throughout this week. We're expecting there's going to be continued use of these illegal fireworks. Many of them are being sold out of people's private garages and private residences by folks that really don't know how to handle fireworks, and especially when they're fireworks that have been stored for a long time, they crystallize and they can start to burn on their own. So we caution people, California is not a place for these very powerful fireworks that are illegal for the most part. What is being sold is illegal out of the private residences and garages in our neighborhoods.
David, thank you so much. And Giovanna, I just want to show you some video that we got earlier where there are fireworks actually exploding inside of a home near Corcoran Street. Firefighters arrived around 9 p.m. Crews estimate, as you heard, 4 homes and a vehicle caught fire. Now, Air 7 video showed the scale of the large scene. First responders treated at least one person burned by the fires. Witnesses describe a chaotic scene here. There's a lot of spectators right now watching this, taking video, because this is shocking and it is scary. We are told again that at least one person has critical injuries and had to be transported. At least 100 firefighters are out here in what they are calling a major emergency.
So that's pretty crazy. So that happened on July 4th, and this is separate from the incident that happened in San Gabriel on July 2nd. So now that's like 2 huge explosions that like burned up cars and houses. And did someone die in this one? No, I don't think anyone died in this one. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. And yes, Landon, I completely agree that cops are psychopaths. And but well, actually, you know what? I don't completely agree because I personally don't believe psychopath isn't a thing in my mind, and I think it's like really misused and weaponized against like the people. So that's maybe a conversation for another day because it's kind of, but yeah, I'll but they say like I'll die on that hill, like arguing that because it is. I mean, I've done the hair, like the psychopathic like checklist on people before, and have written psych evals for court with results from the hair, and which the hair is like how you measure, like it's like the psychological test to measure a psychopath. Um, but a psychopath like isn't actually a clinical diagnosis. It's just like something that people just made up, like researchers. Like it's not a medical term, and like in my opinion, it's just like not a very helpful like categorization at all. Like, and it actually does like the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing in terms of like providing like services and trying to support them so they can like do better in the future. And I just don't think that they like do that fairly at all. And definitely they utilize the psychopathic and sociopathic, and that's why I like it makes me cringe too. Like you hear all these people like in actual like correctional or like forensic psychologists like on YouTube will and like these like news shows that they'll go and interview them, and it's like they use these big like buzzwords, and but it's like, dude, like what are you even talking about? Like that, you know what I mean? It's like all pretend. Like it's like they literally just made some shit up. It's like 15 questions of being like, did you do this? Did you do that? It's like, well, who decided that those 15 things are what make you a psychopath? Like, you know what I mean? And like what really is the definition of a psychopath? Like I don't even think that you can really like, I just think you need to like, so anyways, I said I wasn't gonna get into that. But yeah, they did land and say that they were illegal. They were saying that like with the fireworks, I'm assuming you're asking about, but they were saying yes, like in a lot of these places there's like no fireworks are legal, but even in certain areas that like have some, like I guess that place that exploded, the warehouse that exploded in Yolo County, like that guy had like a technics, a pyrotechnic company. It was called like Devastation Pyrotechnics, and he was allowed, he was one of the special people that could buy fireworks, that were legal, but he actually was storing a bunch of illegal fireworks. Oh, I get it. That's funny. Oh, I get it. I see the little crying side face. That's what's like hard with like, being online sometimes or like reading. It's hard to like pick up sometimes on but I'm just kind of ditzy sometimes too. But yep, so yep, cool. Those are the things that took place. Let's see what else. That's that. Ooh, what's this? This looks cool. Damn, the stupid freaking. Okay, so here is another. Or wait, no, this is a new video. Oh, okay. One person did die. Neighbor's Ring doorbell camera captured video of the moment the explosion went off. And you can see the fireworks exploding into the air while neighbors run. The fireballs rain down on the neighborhood, sparking fires. Here.
Really sad about what happened.
Whoa.
Now at 11,
Oh my God.
homeowners sharing their
This is a
shock
different
tonight
one.
over an illegal fireworks explosion in Pacoima as we get a new look at the danger that night. Tonight, one family tells us their home was completely destroyed. The devastating fireworks explosion taking the life of one man and destroying multiple homes Thursday night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Caputo, in for Jory Rand.
I'm Sophie Flay. Days later, neighbors still reeling from the tragedy. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pullman joins us live from Pacoima, where he met with one of those families. Tim.
Yeah, this neighborhood in Pacoima is traumatized after illegal fireworks set it on fire. And tonight we are getting a first look inside of one of the homes that was completely destroyed.
This is the living room.
Brian Garcia
Wow.
taking us inside what used to be his home.
3 of the bedrooms were just completely destroyed.
Including his mother's patio, garden, and sanctuary for her 13 birds.
Oh,
Birds over there.
Yeah.
Were they able to escape? Every inch of the family's home was ravaged when they say their neighbor's illegal fireworks went off next door.
People don't listen. People don't follow the rules.
It happened off Corcoran Street in Pacoima just after 9 on July 4th. An eyewitness capturing the horrifying scene.
This is the same one.
Oh, there's 2 houses on fire. Hey, we need water hoses.
Look at this angle. A neighbor's doorbell camera also recording the explosion. A neighbor who didn't want to be on camera said the explosions felt like a prolonged earthquake.
We dropped down to the ground and within seconds, everything just started catching fire. It just felt like we were under some type of attack.
It took more than 100 firefighters to put out the massive fire. One woman taken to the hospital with severe burns. A man's body was found in one of the 4 homes destroyed.
Oh, really?
I was devastated. I was really, really sad about what happened. Not only because the damage of the houses, but also the person who was dead.
Right now, Martha's family is raising money through GoFundMe to rebuild, while sifting through the ash and debris of their home, a symbol of hope.
It's a Bible here, and all the pages were burned to around, but the word, the text is still in there.
Perhaps a message that all is not lost.
Oh, that's nice.
Firefighters say that one of the damaged homes had a large supply of fireworks inside. This incident remains under investigation. Tim Pulliam, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Just so many people impacted by that mistake. Thanks, Tim.
Okay. So,
if we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of...
Yeah, so that says, yo, she's so sad. Did we just watch that? Oh, yeah, we did. Also, the person who's dead, Raina's family is raising money through GoFundMe to help rebuild. While sifting through the ash and debris, she said she found the Bible. One of the damaged homes had a large supply of illegal fireworks inside, and investigation into the deadly incident is going on. All right, so that's the one from Pacoima. What is this one? Oh, yeah, we just saw that. Oh, yep, wait. Yep, that's all the same, so we can go ahead and highlight that too. Love when I can highlight things. Okay, so that was on July 4th and in Pacoima. And then look at this. I found another thing in Pacoima too. Oh wait. Maybe this is the same one. Let's just double check. No, it's not. This is definitely different. Oh wait, this is done. It's the same shit. This link has written blah blah blah. Okay, got all that shit on. Perfect. And then I found this. This is it says, dude, another one in Pacoima, California, with house and fireworks bomb or whatever it is. This is from March 21st, 2025. The house is essentially a bomb, ATF says, of Pacoima explosion site after fireworks blast prompts evacuation. So they evacuated this one too. Left a man in critical condition Thursday morning. They said they received several 911 calls reporting there had been a loud explosion at the home located at 1300 block west. I'm gonna write that down. Oh, shit.
Struggling to recover tonight after a big blast
forced people to evacuate dozens of homes. LA Mayor Karen Bass and police leaders are expected to give an update on yesterday's house explosion in Pacoima any moment now. We can see the mayor walking up to the microphones. We know that our Jasmine Beal is out there to report, and at least dozens of homes
First
were
and
evacuated.
foremost, my thoughts are with everyone impacted by this incident. And I want to thank the LAPD and the LAFD for responding immediately to this issue. I also want to recognize Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez and her office for her work on this incident. The city has mobilized in collaboration with the Red Cross to provide support. Federal agencies have stepped in to provide support. And I want to thank the ATF and the EPA for being here with us to safely address this issue. As you are about to hear from public safety officials, the safest path forward to dispose of these incredibly dangerous materials is what is called a controlled burn, which will begin this evening. All other options have been examined. Public safety leaders have made clear that it is unsafe to enter the property because of the unstable and dangerous materials inside. It is also unsafe to transport these materials elsewhere in the city due to the risk it would pose to all Angelenos. This action is being taken for a very clear goal. First, to protect Angelenos. Second, to protect surrounding homes, and to protect the surrounding neighborhoods. Thermal gel has been placed on neighboring homes to keep them safe. A specialized metal mesh fence will be erected around the controlled burn to protect surrounding homes from possible projectiles from this operation.
Well, it sounds like they're actually like covering their asses
LAPD has
after
already
they,
conducted
in
additional
2021, blew up an
evacuation door
entire
knocks
neighborhood.
in the area to provide information out of an abundance of caution.
But also, the fact that this incident happened in Pacoima on March 21st, then fast forward, to July 4th, and that other explosion happens in Pacoima. I want to compare those two addresses, but I feel like also the deaths of the 3 LA police officers that happened 2 Fridays ago that were clearing out old explosive materials. It was the same thing, with needing to safely remove and get rid of this stuff. And it sounds like with all of them, all of these places, the same thing that they said with the warehouse is they just needed to do shit, I lost my train of thought because someone just texted me. Oh yeah, they obviously didn't do a good job with that either, from the someone's calling me now, so I'm but yeah, okay, so yeah, they obviously didn't learn from mistakes really that much because they're still having a ton of incidents of people that are actually dying because of the way that they're inappropriately removing these. I think it sounds like they're way in over their head, they don't know how to take care of this stuff. And I even wonder maybe it's stuff that might have I don't know, bioweapons or something. You never know. But it's interesting that they're taking this so seriously now. It's nice to hear that, you know.
The EPA has monitors in place that will be measuring the air quality as the process continues and adapting evacuation warnings as needed. To everyone in the area, please follow the guidance of the police department and the fire department. The goal is to ensure the safety of the area, and that is exactly what we are doing in these steps that we are taking. Thank you, and please stay safe. And let me introduce the Chief of Police, Jim McDonald. Oh, let me introduce the Fire Chief, Ronnie Villanueva.
Ma'am, go very close to him so we can include you in the shot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Sure.
On March 20th at 9:01 a.m., the LAFD responded to 13556 West Remington Street on a reported explosion. LAFD resources arrived on scene to find a small single-family dwelling behind a main house with evidence of an explosion. They found one patient in critical condition with burns to 56% of his body. And those were second and third degree burns. The structure suffered partial collapse and 4 dogs were rescued from the scene. The LAFD transported the patient to the closest trauma center where he is still being stabilized before he can be transported to a burn ward. LAFD and LAPD are in unified command. We have remained on scene on this incident since it began, which was yesterday morning. We initially evacuated 26 homes, but have increased the evacuation to 60 residences as precautionary measures. The LAFD bomb squad has determined that due to the volatility of the material, it cannot be removed from the evidence, as mentioned by the mayor. After careful consideration between the LAFD, LAPD, bomb squad, ATF, and EPA, we will be conducting a slow burn using diesel fuel to mitigate the unconsumed explosive materials. The LAFD and LAPD have taken the necessary precautions to mitigate this incident with little to no impact to the area. We have taken the precautionary measures to protect the neighboring residences and confine the fire to the location where this incident occurred. Our primary concern is life, property, and the environment. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce to you the police chief, Jim McDonald.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, and thank you all for being here with us tonight. I want to thank Mayor Bass, Councilmember Rodriguez and her staff, and our partners at ATF, the LA Fire Department, the EPA, and a variety of different city and federal agencies involved in this critical and complex operation. I want to also express our continued gratitude to the community of Pacoima for their patience and cooperation as we work.
Oh, fuck. Well, I think that was like maybe a sign from God that I should just stop listening to that because it was too long anyways. I'm kind of reading through this article and it basically talks about how there was one guy at this residence and they were like, we don't know about charges. We're going to have to look into it. But he was like the only guy home. And they were like, yeah, like maybe depending on like what it was or what the deal was. And like, but they didn't really say that there were like any other suspects. And then it sounded like they were saying that there was like dogs in like the house too, but they left the dogs like in the house. To me, that's a little strange. Like, I don't know. I just feel like for some reason my like intuition, my gut is telling me to like, for some reason, like these dogs are significant. Like, are there like robo dogs or something? And they're like trying to get rid of, like, seriously though. So yeah, the fire drew the response of several squads within LA Fire Department, including the department's hazmat investigators, arson division, and bomb squad, as well as LAPD's major crimes unit and bomb squad investigators, the LA Department of Water and Power, and SoCal Gas. They said firefighters and ATF agents will slowly burn the remaining explosives after learning that the volatile materials were not safe to transport away from the destroyed home. So that's just like, so you're just gonna let it burn out there? But yeah, like what is this material that's being burned? Like LA is like a pretty smoggy city already. Like what's getting released in the environment? Like it's just kind of weird. They said the house is essentially a bomb. Oh, really? Okay. Essentially? No. It's like literally all of these cases are bombs going off in these places. ATF Special Agent in Charge, Kenneth Cooper, said during the press conference, we are basically notifying the public to render this explosive device safe. What? We are going to use fire in a slow, methodic burn to alleviate that threat. Okay. So instead of it being like a huge burst, they're just going to do it slowly. It says that they're unclear how long the slow burn will take. And firefighters have doused the home with diesel fuel for the controlled burn. That's what they do though. Like up in my cabin, we like live next to like a fire, like DNR fire guy, and he's like constantly being like, "Oh my God, like we're gonna die because you guys don't keep up your like land well, you know, because it's like it's our cabin, but we do like own some like property, and we're not up there all the time. So it's hard when like a storm comes through and like knocks down a bunch of old trees. Like it's a lot of work and it just lays on the ground. But then that's what makes all of these huge fires be so intense because you're not like actually naturally letting the process happen. So like and so to help not have these huge massive burns, you can do controlled burns, and that like just takes care of like, you know, if you go and clean up and all of the trees that did fall down and then you put them all into a big fire and then you burn all of those, you know, in the same spot, and then that's healthy too because then like the ash and like the plants that are only like come up when there's like a fire around and stuff, then they can still have, and like they always say that like fires are really good for you know, like new birth and like especially in forests that have like really big trees, like giving opportunities to kind of the more smaller ones to like be able to get a chance to grow too. But it said to protect the rest of the neighborhood, LAFD crews placed thermal gel on surrounding homes and erected a specialized mesh fence around the slow burn to prevent projectiles flying into other homes. Oh wow. That's crazy. Projectiles? And they said sand for runoff water. That's some crazy shit. So this was on March 21st in the same area that we saw just last week. No, yeah, on January 2nd, the one that we just talked about. Okay, so I'm gonna go to, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna review what came up today that I was just like, holy shit about. Um, so I'll do that now. And then I'll save the other ones for another day. And then I don't know, I guess maybe I'm not gonna get to the stupid documents from the Kohberger files, but um like it's already been almost 2 hours now. Well, I think I definitely need like a break, but depending on like how my night goes, like maybe I'll plan on hopping back on later tonight, but realistically that probably won't happen. But I'll for sure plan on coming on tomorrow, and there's like definitely a few things that I want to talk about. Like this one document. Well, I'll just have to wait until tomorrow to get fully into it. And maybe tonight I can do some more research on that rather than just like jumping right into it. But yeah. Um, yeah, right. The fire gel causes cancer. Of course. Yeah. Landon says, gonna find out the fire gel causes cancer. I'm sure it does. And so does the smoke from the fire around the house that has the fire gel. But okay. So yeah, this one says like they do have a bomb. Okay, let's go to, oh wait, no, I get to highlight. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to, okay. No, I can come back to these. Well, let me just say right here, and I won't go into, but as you can see on my little cheat sheet note thing, there is also two other stories that have to do with, it was this year, right around, one was July 3rd, and another one was on July 8th. So these are like now 5 incidents that are all happening within same 5 days, and all of them have to do with like huge fireworks explosions. And in each of the descriptions of the incidents, it when it's explained, it always seems like there's something shady behind it. Like you like can definitely feel like you're not really getting the full, or there's like just things that are like weird about the situation. Like for example, this one, which I'll get back in, I'll go into the next time. for the live, but it says like this 8-year-old girl dies after being struck by illegal fireworks during a 4th of July display. Well, like when you actually like read the article, it's like it's kind of weird how the child is actually injured. And like I mentioned before, I do think that a lot of this stuff revolves around organized crime, and I definitely do think that there's a couple of like for sure corrupt people like within the police, like law enforcement. And I mean, obviously not everyone, but for sure, like we've seen people that are, shady, and it's not hard, especially in some of these smaller, um, cities that don't have as big of police departments. It's like a lot easier to maybe like bribe people or push stuff under the rug. There's not much like oversight. But anyways, I do feel like I've found some stuff, and this is like not anything I'll get into like for a while, but I do have a lot of information on it, I feel like, but like human trafficking and child trafficking specifically. And like some of these cases that we're hearing about that have to do with like all of these children being murdered and like all of these manhunts going on, which like I also am tying into this grouping of incidents too, but it's like a separate type of the grouping because I feel like manhunts and like killing their kids is like a separate thing, but it also seems to have to do with fire departments in the same area, like maybe dealing with some type of organized crime or like a hit or like drug trafficking. Um, so yeah. And then there's another one here that says Valley, one killed in Simi Valley and two critically injured in the Bay Area. So here's even more like that. It sounds like, and like people were like, oh, it's all around the 4th of July. Like that's normal for like explosives and, people are messing with fireworks and they always do and blah, blah, blah. But it's um, like not that many people die. I know that some do. Like every year after the 4th, I'm kind of like keep my eyes open for maybe reports of people that might have like, burned off their hand from a firecracker or something. But like last year, I remember there was a guy who died actually, but it's pretty rare to have these people die. That's what I'm saying. And like here right now, and we can see within like the last month, we've had like what, like close to 20 deaths, 15 to 20 deaths, like all from illegal firework explosions, like AKA bombs, and they're not like releasing a bunch of information on it. Like that is definitely to me like what's going on here. But what I was saying about like, yeah, kids is like I do feel like there might be some involvement with like, yeah, human trafficking and like smuggling or also drug trafficking too. So, but what I saw today, and like I said, I'll get back to those. Oh, and here's another one. Well, yeah, those were all okay. So, like I said, I'm gonna get back to those another day. These two. These two have to do with a post office because I feel like there's like 3 or 4 incidents that have to do with post offices blowing up or post officers being involved in an explosion, which I think is really weird too. I mean, I'd assume that like they would have a bit more like interaction just because we have like a lot of history of people trying to send bombs like through the mail or like different types of like viruses or whatever. Like remember when there was like that stuff that was like they were like, oh my gosh, a bunch of white powder showed up in letters in Washington D.C. Like what it started with like an O. Um, what was that shit called? I can't remember, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like if you just ingest a little bit of it, it's like, deathly. Anyways, and these with the post officer also have to do with ex-military guys from Iraq. All of them are from Iraq and like Afghanistan. All of them definitely have PTSD and like saw, combat. And I think that that's also significant when you're thinking about maybe some of the things that they're doing that they could potentially be doing like behind the scenes with stuff like transporting explosive material. Like some people are trained like straight up to do that in the military, you know what I mean? So, you could come home and do it, but like you could do it under the table, maybe, allegedly. Okay, oops. Damn it. What am I doing? Okay, sorry. I'm like anthrax. Yes, thank you. Perfect. Well, I said O, but yeah, that was stupid of me. Why did I think it was O? It's a vowel. We do have the best time, Landon. I agree. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Sometime you'll have to like, I don't know, maybe like share pictures of like the horses on your ranch or something. Oh my God, did you see that horse in the video that we just watched? Like where he was like stumbling. Do you have horses? Oh, you were military, Landon? What like what was your wait, I think you already told me this. You were yeah, I guess what branch were you in and what was your ranking and like did you if you feel comfortable like disclosing what your like job was, I guess, in the military or like how long you were there. And it would be interesting. I like really respect the military people a lot. Oh, that's sweet, Landon. Thank you. Um, yeah, but um I just yeah, I feel bad for military. And I think it's so messed up. I feel really bad for these guys that I've been seeing lately in these reports and stuff that have like such horrible PTSD. Oh, hey, baby. Come on now. Good girl. Here. Okay. All right. 12 years. Holy shit. That's a long time. Air Force. I think, oh yeah, that's right. Because I told you my grandpa was in the Air Force, but that was like World War II. Um, Interesting. Did you have a good experience or would you like not recommend it or any thoughts on that? Because I definitely feel like people are like these young kids are just don't know what they're getting signed up for and then we're out, like CCR talks about how it's like the rich man's like son doesn't go. It's like the poor man that like goes and fights the rich man's war or whatever they say in that song. And like I feel like people take out their angst and I don't know, like anger out on like the actual soldiers. But I feel like the troops are definitely not who to like target. It's way, way bigger than that, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times once they actually get there and they realize what the fuck's going on, it's like that's what fucks them up, you know what I mean? Um, okay, hold on. All right, so then today, this is what I guess what I'll wrap up with. Or wait, what time is it? At 8:09? Well, yeah, I'll just see how long this takes to go over. Okay, hold up. I am just going to. So, I woke up today and like this is, like was it just yesterday? I had the live that I did with these cases, or was it 2 days ago? I can't remember. I think it was, I can't remember. But stuff just keeps coming up that seems like relevant to my cases. It's like on here I was like, holy fuck, another Pacoima like explosion, or like, oh my God, like what is going on with all these freaking explosions, So So I woke up this morning and then this is like what I saw on the news.
Breaking news on a mass shooting in downtown LA. 2 people are dead. 6 others are in the hospital.
This is a live look above the scene from Air 7. The shooting happened overnight following reports of a few parties in the area. We saw dozens of people crowd the streets.
Good morning. I'm Leslie Sykes along with Rachel Brown and Irene Cruz. John Gregory's off this morning.
Eyewitness News reporter David Gonzalez live at the scene and just spoke to a family member of one of the victims. David.
Okay, and this is what's always so sad, and it kind of, when you hear the people that actually are victims in these accidents, they're the runners. I mean, I'm allegedly, like, I'm not saying, like, that they are involved, but if they were to be involved in, some of these, like, illegal things or whatever, oh my God, there's, like, a weird spider, like, right in front of me. What the fuck, dude? Where is that? Where is he coming from? Leela, do your job. Just kidding. But they, yeah, these guys are like so young and they have families and like they were probably just maybe like in my imaginary world in my head when I'm like thinking that maybe what they could have been involved with is like they are like on the lower pedestal of things. Like they're the ones that are doing like the actual maybe like running, not the like sales or something, it's just I don't understand. Like it's sad to see these young guys that are just kind of like having to turn to not having to turn to but like having options to turn to like street or like other types of income. And there's lots of reasons for that, especially because of like our country's like hugely racist and doesn't give people the same opportunities, especially with like immigrant communities too, which we're seeing a lot with some of these. It seems to be like a lot of Asian communities and Hispanic communities, and Black communities too. But yeah, and like this guy, the dad that talks about, because there's one guy that died this morning and he was 29 years old and he had a kid, and then his dad found out like just standing out on the street. So it's kind of sad. He's like, I told him not to hang out with those guys. So it sounds like he actually knew the crew that the dude was hanging out with, And then like another thing to me about this case, it's like, dude, this is a mass shooting. Like, like mass shootings get reported like it's a big fucking deal. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, what was it? It was like, oh yeah, in New York the other week where that Las Vegas security guard dude like brought a gun to like Blackstone CEO office and like NFL stuff too, and like I think he killed 3 people or something, and then like injured a couple of others, and like that was all over the news. And I don't see this really all over the news today, and I'm just like, why not? Like this is the same thing as a mass shooting, except I feel like they're like, here, listen to how they describe it.
Yes, we did. We just spoke to a man here who has been here as long as we have this morning. He's been talking to police, and he just got confirmation from LAPD that his son, 29-year-old Gregory DeRiso, is one of the victims killed in this mass shooting in downtown Los Angeles. That investigation is taking place off into the distance here near 14th Place and Griffith Avenue. This is where authorities say there was several parties taking place in the warehouse district of downtown Los Angeles when shots rang out. And as you can imagine, it was a very chaotic scene.
This is chaotic. This is chaotic. Look at that. That's a dead body. Look at the police.
And this is video that shows just how chaotic it was outside as people tried to run away from the scene. We spoke to with LAPD, and they tell us that around 11 o'clock last night, LAPD officers were patrolling the area and spotted someone going into what they believe was an unauthorized party. Authorities believe that person may have been armed. Officers shut down the
Okay, hold on. Just gotta say one thing and like clarify this because it is like a lot of information in a short amount of time, and just want to like reiterate like how weird this is. So they say, oh, okay, like there's a this mass shooting. Well, then they're like, oh, actually it was like at a party. So that right away, I feel like they're kind of trying to be like, oh, this was just like rambunctious folks that were like partying it up and probably just like gang violence or something. And are trying to kind of just because people don't care about that. You know what I mean? People care about like CEOs getting shut up and all of that. But like when it comes to like, minority communities, I mean, think about Chicago and like how many like, gun violent incidents happen. Like they don't talk about that. It's just like not a big deal. And like this is a big deal. Anyway, so it happened in downtown LA and it said like at a warehouse. And then like at one of the news like things that I was watching, a dude was standing like in front of the warehouse building and I saw the address. And so I like Googled that address and kind of did like a little sleuthing. So I'll get into that. But what I want to say here is that so this is the weirdest description of this incident. So what they're saying is like, okay, apparently there was a festival that was going on and there was a unauthorized party going on in the like warehouses down there. And I guess the police showed up to those parties at 11 and apparently they arrested someone and he was armed. So that was at 11. And then it sounds like at 1 o'clock, all of the police presence left because they got like another call for something. But then like an hour later is when shit erupted completely. And that's when like all the shooting that we're seeing here happened. So it's like weird that it's like, what do you mean you were there at 11? What happened at 11 that you arrested someone and you knew he was like carrying a gun? Like who is he? You know what I mean? Like, why was it illegal for him to have a gun? Like, that makes me think he's probably a felon. It's like, and then to have, I mean, look at this. Like, it eventually comes like, I mean, it looks like it's kind of like, it almost reminds me of like the LA riots, like back in the 90s, like when you start to see the groups of people that are kind of like lawlessly fighting and like kind of how out of their element the police seem in this situation. I'm just gonna rewind it real quick.
It was a very chaotic scene. And this is video that shows just how chaotic it was outside as people tried to run away from the scene. We spoke to with LAPD and they tell us that around 11 o'clock last night, LAPD officers were patrolling the area and spotted someone going into what they believe was an unauthorized party. Authorities believe that person may have been armed. Officers shut down the party and everyone inside was called out into the street. They estimate more than 50 people were inside at the time. During that time, one person was arrested for being in possession of a gun. LAPD says officers were dispatched to another scene and left around 1 a.m. Police responded to reports of a shooting in the same location of that first call. A total of 8 people were shot. One person died here at the
Also, like, I just kind of want to point out, like, it's a choice. Like, when you are like a straight up skinhead, I mean, you can have shaved hair, but like to be, I mean, these fucking police officers are
and left around 1 a.m. Police responded to reports of a shooting in the same location of that first call. A total of 8 people were shot. One person died here at the scene. He is described as 29-year-old Gregory DeRiso. LAPD says another woman died at the hospital. 6 others were rushed to the hospital via ambulance or were self-transported. At least one person was in critical condition and was also in surgery. Others are listed as stable. Right now, there is no information on a possible suspect, and they do not know what triggered this shooting. There are reports that there was some sort of warehouse party related to Hard Summer Music Festival, which ended last night in Inglewood. Officers say that organizers of that party say that shooting happened 2 blocks from their event, and they stress that that shooting did not happen in their event and that their event was actually peaceful. But not too long ago, we just spoke with the father of one of the victims, and this is what he had to say.
Sad. Very sad. So now I do wish for him. I tell the gentleman, Don't keep hanging with those the people you got shot with out there. You've been telling them, don't hang with those people.
Oh, see, that's sad.
Once again, that was the father of 29-year-old Gregory Jeriso, who they say has been identified as one of the 2 people shot and killed here in this mass shooting here in downtown Los Angeles. But as we mentioned, there were several parties taking place in this area. Right now, we do not know which one he was at or what he was doing here in the area, but police continue to investigate this mass shooting that left 2 dead and 6 others injured. Reporting in downtown Los Angeles, David Gonzalez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, so that to me is, I was like, wow, that seems really shady, right? So, and then on another interview, his dad said that, or no, they said that the victim that died, this like 29-year-old guy, that he was a music producer and that he had told his family that night that he was going to the studio to do some music stuff. But instead he ends up at this large warehouse event, and like it sounds like, they're trying to be like, oh, there was like a bunch of parties. Like, what are you talking about? Like, does that happen? Like, that doesn't seem very normal to just have a bunch of parties like in downtown LA, like that a bunch of people have mass shootings at, but they don't really know what's going on. And there was a lot going on, but there was this one, and it's just like, what the fuck, like, to me, they're covering something up, um yeah, so that's that. And then I looked into that address because it was like at another news clip. Like I said, there was like a address for the warehouse. And so I looked up that address, or that same address, and look at what I found. Weird, right? Multiple cars explode in a warehouse fire. What's up with all these fucking explosions and warehouses and fires? Like, right? Like, this is all like, it's just, I guess, give me your feedback and tell me if you think that I'm just like, yeah, that shit happens all the time, Sarah. It's just, I just said my name, but that shit happens all the time, ACAB. You just, it's LA and things are always happening around there, but I don't know, like, I think it's pretty rare for there to be huge explosions like at training sites for police officers, especially like in the like largest police force in the country. Like Los Angeles County is like the biggest county, like, for, I think, population wise, like in the country, because it's just like, it's actually, there's a lot of people that live there, but it's also like a really big county itself. But yeah, and then what the fuck was I was gonna say? Anyways, so here's what they say about this thing. An intense fire broke out in downtown Los Angeles early this morning, causing, so this is January 21st, 2025. So it was like January 21st, 2025, and then there's that explosion in March in Pacoima, and then things were pretty calm up until, and then all hell broke loose on the 4th of July and surrounding. And it seems to be continuing. So, yeah, here we go. Causing explosions that startled nearby residents and raised concern about the safety of surrounding structures. The blaze, which erupted on 14th Street near Paloma, which is like the same address that he gave for this other one. What was the, I actually did, I just wrote it down. Okay, yeah, it was like the 1300 block of something. Yeah. So, which is like, sounds like maybe like a block away from here. Oh, here's the other one. Okay, so the blaze, which erupted on 14th Street near Paloma, involved a large boat and 2 vehicles, with the Los Angeles City Fire Department quickly responding to the scene. So, boats again. So I don't know, like, if, probably not, but in the last video that I just did, I talked about where they were executing search warrants about the recent explosion that took the lives of the 3 LAPDs, and some of the search warrants that they were putting out, well, one was like in an apartment in Santa Monica, but then there was also one for a boat in Marina del Rey. And then doing some other reading on another article, I found out that there was actually a mobile training site or some type of police training site that is not like completely official, but you know, the ones that keep blowing up and having issues with their officers getting hurt or having fires start in them. Apparently there was one of those training sites near or at Marina del Rey. And they said last week when they executed the search warrant for the blast that killed the 3 officers, they were seeing like searching a nice big boat like in the marina and then like leaving with like a lot of items that they like apparently seized. So that's another boat situation. Now we're hearing, you know, back in January that there was also another big large boat situation that was apparently blown up. So that is also strange to me. Another chaotic scene. Firefighters arriving at the location encountered a chaotic scene with debris from an earlier explosion scattered across rooftops and nearby areas. The source of the explosion remains unclear, but the initial reports suggest it might have involved propane tanks or compressed gas from a nearby food truck, contributing to the violent blast that sent shockwaves through the vicinity. Okay, here's another thing. So, a nearby food truck, right? And propane tanks or compressed gas they're talking about. And as I'm going to go over like next couple of videos, there's a lot of other car explosions that I'm seeing, not specifically in California, but like more in the Pacific Northwest that have to do with cars that you would think like don't just explode. Like you get in a car accident, sure, like maybe sometimes like a car will start on fire, but there's like multiple incidents that it's like huge explosions happening in the cars. And like what's weird too is when that has happened, which I have like 5 or 6 incidents that I am going to share with you guys, separate incidents where something like that has happened, and it's always been at a pizza shop. That's fucking weird to me. And then also, and then they're like, oh, it must have hit, you know, when the car like came into the building from this huge accident. They all get in these huge accidents that run right into these pizza places, even though they're like in a strip mall, but it's just the pizza place. And then they're like, oh, it must have hit like a gas leak or like a gas line, and that's like why the huge explosion. Like everything from Papa John's is gone now, and it's like yeah, that's pretty rare for that shit to happen. Like I can understand it happening every now and then, but that for it to happen for every single thing that they're kind of being like, oh, we don't really know what's going on. Like there's just like a loud boom. It's like, no, like it seems like there's obviously explosives around, and I think that they're using these boats and these trucks to like store them or transport them. And also, come back to this, but when I Googled the address, the first thing that came up was this, and it's DTLA, Downtown LA Truck Center. And it's like your premium destination for quality trucks and equipment. I was like looking through it, and like they definitely have, you know, all the normal stuff. They say that they also have like license and they're authorized to be able to do all these things. But it is interesting to me that it's just like it's like like a place to just, I mean, you could use it, you could say you're using a warehouse for tons of different things, you know, and like who really knows like who's coming to check up on that. And you know, as we saw in Yolo County, like the the people that did go check up on this fireworks company that they were supposed to be regulated, it was the fucking sheriff himself that was breaking the law. So there's like no checks and balances here, you know. And I'm sure that that warehouse was also being used, and I think it's like probably pretty easy to just have like these fake fronts to businesses and use it for money laundering. And I think that the trucks is like a good cover. It's like a perfect cover. Because it would be pretty hard to be able to like prove that certain people like didn't get something done on their personal truck, or that you didn't rent out like these trucks like at these amount of times, you know, and then you can also like have a bunch of different ways to transport people, drugs, explosives. Like if you look at all of these things, this is all allegedly, of course. Okay, here's their inventory. Box trucks, bucket trucks, liftgate boxes, cargo vans, dump trucks, passenger vans, refrigerated trucks, stake bed trucks, step vans, utility trucks. Like, it's a lot, you know? So I just thought that that was interesting that this is the business that shows up from where the shooting was last night, the mass shooting. Um, so notable. Oh my God. Like embarrassing. What do you think I need a wig or something? Okay, as firefighters worked to contain the blaze, they were seen using tools to cut through gates, aiming to prevent the fire from spreading to an adjacent building. This building is believed to be a flooring warehouse. Oh, really? Okay. Flooring warehouse. That what that's like also like probably incredibly easy to just like whatever, but which presents additional risks due to the flammable materials likely stored inside. Okay, so that was the other thing that they said about the YOLO warehouse is like that warehouse was like, you know, apparently registered for this like what was it called devastating pyrotechnics, whatever. But then also there was like another business that was like registered there that was a like feed company, or it had something to do with like crops and I'm sure like chemicals or like bio stuff, or at least supposedly. So that would be like another good excuse for when a massive explosion happens, that it's like, oh, I guess we don't really know what it is because it's all the other materials that would be in there are also extremely like flammable and explosive. So that seems like also kind of just an interesting conundrum there too. Um, oh wait, let's see here. I have to catch up on Landon. Thanks for chatting with me, Landon. I do appreciate you. You're a real one. Oh, you've seen a lot of things. Maybe we should like um learn about them if you want to. How do I'm trying to okay, here we go. I do need a Landon to kill my spiders. That's true. Oh my God, and oh God, I live in the basement of like an apartment building and there's like so many fucking bugs down here. Like centipedes. Ugh. And then up in my cabin too, there's like a lot of dock spiders. Oh my God. And I like was taking a sauna and like the last time I was up there and there was like this huge one that came out and I freaked the fuck out and I was like, Dad, oh my God. Like, and then it was like running into this like wall and I was like, where's the raid? And then I saw it was like actually it was on Mother's Day and I saw it like running back towards this wall and then all of a sudden I saw all these little baby spiders come out of the wall. And I just like sprayed them all. Like, you know, I was just like freaked out. I was like, what is going on? But the mom was like running. You could tell she like was, oh, it was just kind of sad. Actually, I felt really bad about it afterwards because like I think she was like trying to stay away from her nest because she knew that there was like danger. So she didn't want like, you know, me to know where her babies were. But then when I started spraying her a bunch, like she started getting like, she was like dying, you know? And then I think there must have been she must have been screaming, however spiders scream or something, because that's when all the babies started coming out of the wall and running towards her. And, and that I'm just like, and on Mother's Day, you know what I mean? I'm like, that was pretty awful to watch that happen. But as much as I dislike spiders, I guess, you know, I can have a little humanity for them too, but I just don't like them. The little spider that was coming down in front of me here was like harmless, but I'm like, where the fuck did he come from? You know what I mean? There's nothing like above me right now. Like, so that means like he must have come from like his web thing must be super high up there. Um, yes, thank you. There are a lot of suspicious things happening in patterns. I agree. It is not a coincidence. That's true. All cards explode when the government wants them to. That's funny. By Pizza Shop. That's a Ninja Turtle thing. Oh, That's interesting. I know, well, I used to work at Subway back in the day, and well, I used to work actually at like three different Subways back in the day. And the first one that I worked at, I ended up like we all kind of ended up getting fired because the like manager at the store manager there was a huge drug dealer. He was like actually like he was like good friends with the like one of my best friend's brothers, and that's how we got working there. And like one of my best friend's brothers like also worked there, and his best friend was like a pretty big drug dealer, and he would like have people come in to Subway, and then he would like roll like like huge amounts of like whatever. I'm assuming it's probably weed, but like and sold it to people like in the form of a sandwich, and like would just charge them over the counter. And so I could see why a pizza place would be easy to be able to like launder money into. But I'm interested about this Ninja Turtle thing. Like, what's the like deal with Ninja Turtles that, oh yeah, like they always, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Oh my God, I'm gonna look into that real quick or before tomorrow. Because also like remember Pizzagate? I mean, I'm not a Pizzagate person, but you know, rumors get started and, I guess telephone or people's different interpretations. Like if you don't know the actual truth, of course, you're going to have people that are trying to interpret things and just make sense of things. But, like so for with Pizzagate, like maybe they were wrong about like I don't even really know about Pizzagate, but I remember it being like kind of ridiculous or some conspiracy theory, but maybe they got parts of it right, or maybe that was right. I don't know. Um, yeah, at some point you figure out coincidences are on purpose. Yeah. But also, like, I want to keep an open mind about that too, because coincidence is like, like for example, like all the people that are like wrongly incarcerated because of situations that you would hear and be like, oh my God, that person obviously fucking did it. But then come to find out later, like, no, they were actually just like really shitty luck to be like nearby or, sharing something. I don't know. Like, I mean, for example, BK, like, I mean, there are definitely a lot of circumstances that surround his arrest that make him look like really guilty, but also if you look deep into it, there are kind of explanations behind a lot of them, and you just have to like actually think about it like critically. So, but I agree, like most shit with the government are like big corporations and stuff that you're seeing like patterns with, um, is probably not like coincidences. Like there's a reason why that pattern like keeps showing up. But oh, you bug bombed your place? Yeah, we do that too at my cabin. But well, maybe I should bug bomb again because I did like when I like moved in, I was doing like about a yearly thing where I would spray like the cracks in the wall just for like to keep them out of here. That seemed to be helping, but um I did like I thought I maybe had moths. And so when I went out to my cabin like last year, or no, I was actually like I was going on a road trip for like 2 weeks down to Kentucky, and I before I left, I set out like four different of those like bug bomb things, and when I came home, I feel like I mean I guess I didn't really notice too many more moss and stuff, so that's good. But those little buggers can like really find their place, you know what I mean? Ninja Turtles love pizza. Well, don't we all love pizza? I mean, really. Um, okay, but I digress. I feel like I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I knew Chris Trapp that went to prison for murder, then they found the murder. Exactly. That happens so many times, um, like a lot. I mean, I think it's like estimated that there's probably like close to like, especially with like the way that they do the interrogation system, like the whole investigative process and legal process is complete bullshit, like it's not fair at all. And it's so easy to really like force people to say certain things and do certain things, or take advantage of vulnerable people to get out of things. You know what I mean? Like, it would be really convenient if I was a police officer and I was also like a drug dealer, and my like dealer got busted, or someone like that got busted that I deal with, and then I could be like and set things up to make it look like it was actually this other person, then they would never like know about me. You know what I mean? Like, that would be so easy to do. And like, we see like corruption that happens all the time, like police departments that make up, like, look at the Karen Reed bullshit, and like if you look at that stuff that Crystal Rogers just came out, and that was like a bunch of like police officers that covered a bunch of stuff up, and it's just dirty business. Like, and that's the thing too. Like, anyways, I'm not gonna go off on that, but yes, 20 years locked up, exactly. It's like, how can you even, you can't really get that like time back, you know? And I think about people that are on death row that have been wrongly like executed. I actually have a video about that. If you look back from like last, I believe it was like last September, and I did two videos about this guy called Khalifa, and he, in my opinion, was wrongly executed. And in my opinion, a lot of evidence pointed to the government being involved, specifically the current governor, allegedly, of the state. I believe it was Missouri, but don't quote me on that. It might be I think it was Missouri, or maybe it was Mississippi. Um, but there was a current governor, but back when the actual homicide occurred, that this man that they executed got arrested for, the governor at the time wasn't the governor, but he was in the sheriff's department, and he had like a lot of pull. And the woman who was murdered, like, seriously, go check out my videos, because, and I feel like they didn't, like, I feel like YouTube suppressed those videos too, because they were like, I thought like they were like pretty important. I mean, those are probably like my most important videos that I feel like I've done. And I was getting like thousands of watches on some stuff, and then when I posted those videos, I got like, one of them I got 8 views, and like another one I got like 48 views, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's shady to me. Like, who's suppressing that? You know what I mean? Like, so, but what I found out was the woman who had been murdered, it was like back in like the late 90s, I think, was a investigative journalist. Yeah. And she was like uncovering certain things, but a lot of the like journalism and investigative reporting that she had done, uh, it's super hard to find. Like, I tried to search through it like in the Wayback Machine and stuff, and there's like hardly any information out there. Like, maybe one or two mentions of what she was working on. And she left like a career to like specifically do this, to look into like these corrupt things. So in my opinion, it's like, and then so fast forward, the guy that they arrested and put on death row for her murder is trying to fight for his innocence, because he's innocent and didn't do it. And then like the person who actually decides, has the last say over whether or not they'll pardon him, is that governor who was the sheriff that was like the person back involved in the things that she was reporting on, if that all makes sense. But check out those videos, and share them if you want to, because like I said, I feel like those are the things that are like really important, I think, to spread the word about, because I just don't know if people are not realizing. I do feel like there is a lot of information suppression around these things, like especially with all these things that I'm reporting on today, like all these different blasts and huge explosions and like house bombs and whatever. Like, I really think that they're minimized, or the way that they're written up, it's just like, oh, illegal firework was found, and then it's like they just move on. But it's like, no, it was like the entire neighborhood exploded and 2 people died, you know, and 13 birds died. So but okay, let's see. Then it says, our county sheriff drug a woman out of her car by the hair and threatened to kill her. That's fucking disgusting. Was she, what color was she? um I don't know if there's like a lot of like minority cultures or in Idaho. I kind of doubt it, but maybe I just feel like police really do not like non-white people, it seems. But he got, oh my God, he got like 6 months probation and his guns back, dude. That's fucking crazy. It's insane. Though maybe I should like also just keep track of like when bullshit it was in front of children. That's disgusting. Um, because there's like a lot of incidents that just are so obvious that it was like totally on the fault of the police, and they always get away with it. Like they have the best lawyers or like the best union ever. Like seriously, it's weird. But yeah, like I could go off on that whole subject. Um, okay, so I'm gonna finish this little um blah 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 article, and then I think I'm gonna go. It's almost 9, and I've worked long and hard today, and I was gonna like meet up with some friends for something called Music Mondays. It like happens once on the first like Monday every month of it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like showcasing different singers from like the art scene and acting scene and stuff, or and they're like usually recent graduates or people that are like up and coming in the fields. And it's really fun, and but I was like, I want to go live, and I haven't done it yet today, so I'm not gonna go up. But that ends at 9, so I can at least meet up with people afterwards, I guess. But anyways, I'm talking too much about myself. Okay, so firefighters worked to contain the flame. They were seen using tools to cut through the gates, aiming to prevent the fire from spreading to an adjacent building. Oh yeah, we read that. Ensuring the fire did not penetrate the warehouse's structure was a primary concern for the fire department. Crews were seen deploying ladders and directing water onto the building's eaves where embers could potentially ignite further flames. The presence of electrical wires added another layer of complexity to the firefighting efforts. Safety measures were paramount as the team maneuvered around potential hazards, mindful of the risk of additional explosions or electrical fires. The fire visible from the nearby 10 freeway, which is another thing that I see a lot in some of these incidents. It's like always by like a highway or like a freeway, like a traffic route, like a trafficking route. You know what I mean? Like really easy to drop something off and just jump right back on and be, gone pretty far, gone if you're driving super fast on the highway or whatever. So it says, yep, 10 freeway, nearby 10 freeway. It's like underneath, this area is like underneath a like bunch of it's like the overhang of like all of the crossing freeways and shit. So sent plumes of smoke into the air, though not as dense as initially feared. Residents and passerby watched anxiously as the firefighters battled the flame, hoping to prevent the fire from reaching other vehicles and properties. They are investigating the cause of the initial explosion and an emphasis on the contents of the catering truck and the materials in the warehouse. Interesting. The fire department's cautious approach highlights the unpredictable nature of such incidents. The fire... yeah, where multiple elements can lead to escalating dangers. You don't say. What have you guys done about that? LAPD. The incident underscores the importance of stringent safety protocols and a rapid response in urban environments where a single spark can threaten lives and property. As the fire department continues its efforts, the community remains alert, awaiting further updates on the situation and the impact on local businesses. So this happened in the same location as where the mass shooting happened last night, but this took place on January 21st of this year. So definitely weird explosions and mass shootings going on in the same area here. And then we also saw the overlapping places like in Marina Del Rey and Pacoima. So it's interesting stuff to me. But I think I will wrap up all of this and then maybe just I only have like very short ones that are just simple incidents that are similar to these that have to do with house explosions in and around LA. Um, and short ones, not house and like firework explosions. So that shouldn't take too long, but next time when I come on, I'll talk about that. But well, next time I come on, I think I'm gonna actually talk a little bit about the documents from Pullman Police Department that came out last night. Because like I said, I spent a lot of time reviewing 170 of them and watching a few videos and like kind of analyzing them and thinking about them. And I still have like 100 more, but there's a few that I saw that I think would be good for me to highlight in a live or and or if I have time before the live, maybe review it again so I can come without just like reading it to you. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get into that tomorrow. I'm like really trying to be like good about being consistent about going live, you know. I feel like I've done pretty good. But I feel like it's like with me right now, the boy who cried wolf or the girl who cried wolf, because I'm always like, I'm gonna do this, and then I like disappear for like 6 months or like a year, and then like don't put anything out. So, but I think I'm in a pretty good groove, and I've done some inner work and feel a little bit more or a lot more confident in just my channel and how I wanted, you know, how I want my channel to be. But anyways, I really appreciate my number one fan, Landon, who is the yeah, the real one for keeping me company over these long nights of document readings and live, and it makes me feel much more comfortable, so thank you so much. Yeah, totally. Thank you, Landon. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's things that are worth talking about, you know? Um, and like this all stuff, like I'm a, you know, like I mentioned earlier, like I'm a correctional, like I do like forensic psychologist, you know? And none of this stuff even has anything to do with that. But I do have that whole other side of like expertise that I think is a pretty strong contribution to the true crime field in general. But I don't need to like sell myself. I feel like it'll just do it itself naturally. So, but thank you for being here, Landon, and everyone else who might be watching this. I really appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, please, please, please subscribe. It's free, and if you can like it, it makes like a huge difference. And share too. Like this is pretty interesting stuff, right? So that'd be cool. Spread the word. And yeah, I hope everything um yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. Landon, I hope you have a great night. Thank you for keeping me company, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace and love. Bye.